What's going on, guys? Welcome back. And today I'm going to be continuing my series of revisiting the Star Wars saga with Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. And, I remember actually seeing this in theaters. I saw it on Christmas Eve of 2015, and it's almost been 5 years since then. And I remember being really excited, and I remember really liking it. And this movie has just had some, I think, of the most bizarre reception. I remember when it came out, pretty much everyone loved it, and then people just decided to hate it because of Last Jedi, I think, and then people just decided to hate it, and of course opinions change over time, but I think how much the shift in reception happened from the initial release is just so obvious that people just decided to start disliking it, rather than really thinking about the merits that it does have. And I gotta say, guys, rewatching it, this is the most fun I had rewatching any of these movies, and someone said that this doesn't work well in rewatches. I haven't rewatched this movie in a long time, and it really did work for me on this viewing. It's a movie that I've personally had a weird history with. I've liked it and then not liked it as much, but there's no denying that it is an excellent start to a new trilogy. Whether or not the rest of the trilogy does continue that well enough, that's a story for another time. But as a introduction to a trilogy, it works masterfully. The character work is honestly pretty great throughout it. This is the only movie in the trilogy where Finn is really a good character. Last Jedi, they should have killed Finn, in my opinion. But in this movie, they keep him alive, or they keep him alive in that one. In this one, he has a natural character arc, and it works very well. Rey has a good start to a character arc. Han Solo and Leia and of course their son Ben Solo, or Kylo Ren as he's called, is just excellent. Like, all that stuff is really emotionally impactful, and it's just like rewatching. I just had so much fun rewatching it. You got all these new characters introduced. It has a great pace to it. It slows down when it needs to, but it never slows down too much to the point where it becomes irritating. I think this movie's way better than Return of the Jedi. I don't know if it's better than the original two in terms of just a film, because there are things in it that are kind of stupid and don't work as well, but I'm not comparing this to what the later movies do. I'm comparing this movie to just itself and what it does to start a new series. And it works well. The fan service, of course there's fan service for the original trilogy, but it's all well integrated. I got goosebumps in, moments where that ship's garbage. Ship blows up. The garbage will do. Stuff like that, and then the Millennium Falcon, of course. Stuff like that, just, there's little moments of fan service, but it's well integrated, I feel. It just works well for me in the movie. I love all the new characters. I think they're all handled well in this movie. Whether or not they're handled well later on is, once again, a question for another day. But I think that, all of it, it's just done as well as it possibly could have been for the movie they wanted to make. And that's just what J.J. Abrams does well. He makes these fun adventure movies, and he just makes them the best he possibly can. Even stuff like Starkiller Base. I know people are mad about that and how it's similar to the Death Star, but it's they already did it with the Return of the Jedi. It's why weren't people more pissed off about when they made a second Death Star in Return of the Jedi? Now people are pissed off when they're doing it a third time. I don't know, it just doesn't really bother me. They make jokes about it. It's a very self-aware movie as well, which I like. And it's not something in some movies where I felt this a lot more so with The Rise of Skywalker, where the writing was bad, but they were just kind of giving it a pass. They were self-aware about the fact that the writing was bad, but I'm not going to give their movie a pass. In this one, they're not just being self-aware for the fact of covering up their bad writing. They're not really doing that. It's just self-aware and fun in that way. It's a really good movie. I still think it holds up well. Whether or not you like the rest of the trilogy, that's up to you, but I still really like The Force Awakens. I think it's still a really solid movie. It's just so much fun. It just feels like that's what Star Wars, the spirit of Star Wars should be, just to have fun. That's what Force Awakens is. It's just a big, fun romp in the land of Star Wars from a guy, J.J. Abrams, who, when you look back at, his past works, like the first Star Trek film, which I talked about recently, he's a guy that clearly really loves the original trilogy. So he does pay homage to that, but it's just a guy that has been handed the reins to a franchise that he clearly loves, and just you can just feel that passion behind the camera. You can feel the passion from him seep into the actors. The actors are doing a fantastic job. It's just a well-made movie. It's just a good movie overall. And I'd give The Force Awakens an A revisiting it. I think it's just an excellent film. I don't have much to say about it really, but I just think it still holds up excellently well. So, next up, of course, on the list, my final movie that I'll be talking about very soon, The Last Jedi. So yeah, just please let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, as always, I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye.